up, guys? Tambo here with your weekly core report. We're coming off of Thanksgiving, and our members and experts had a ton to be thankful for last week. Let's get to the winners. In the NBA streets, Ash Frank NFL won $1,500. NYG fan used AP's heat map to win $1,800. D-Rex26 hit for $4,500, and new subscriber Tom hit for $15K. Burr PBC shipped for $33K, while the Man 11 had yet another huge payday, shipping for $100,000. RPS continues to dominate all sports, including World Cup soccer. Our team has been crushing it with the content, and we have the receipts to prove it. Go Boys 18 hit for $1K. New member Wes Ray won over $1,300. Jaime's content helped Poker Pastor get through a tough time, hitting for $2K. Big T won over $20K. Rubio's hard work grinding out soccer content paid off with a $20K shipper. Well, the biggest winner was RPS member Eddie, who turned $500 into over $30,000. Our NFL content has been on fire all season, and we didn't let the Thanksgiving holiday slow us down. We have plenty of free content available on our YouTube channel daily, so make sure to subscribe right now to access the winners. DK for 5 hit big on Thanksgiving, winning $10K. C Jacobs 986 joined him, shipping for $15K. On the main slate, Racing Jason 910 hit for over $6K. LT Dog 24 shipped for $50K, while my own heater continued, winning my first FFWCC. For Showdown, our guy Hoop was a big winner, shipping for over $100K across sites. He used his core plays laid out for our premium members, including a low-owned Jelani Woods, who ended up breaking the slate. Shout out to YGuy223, who won over $9K as well. Congrats again to all our members. If you want to be featured in the core report, drop your winning lineup in the Members Never Win channel in our premium Discord. If you're not a member, join now. You won't find a better value with all sports included for one low price. And while you're watching, hit that like button now. Remember, if you're not winning with us, you're watching us win. Till next time, let's keep running pure.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Run Pure Sports Showdown show. We are breaking down the NFL slate tonight. We got the Colts, we got the Cowboys. If the crew says they're excited for this game, don't let them fool you, because they've been talking shit about this game behind the scenes. Not letting you get out of this one. I'm sorry. They want Bengals and Bills. They want all these great games. We're going to break it down, though. We're going to talk about it. Let's go to Rubio first so I can roast Rubio. He's had a great week of soccer. He's been crushing it in the DFS streets, but he did say it was 5-1 Eagles easy last week. And Rubio, you were wrong. So I'm here to victory lap my 5-1. It was even a Packer in the captain spot, but it wasn't mine and Aaron Rodgers.
So wait, was it a 4-2 or 5-1 that shift? I saw Aaron Rodgers sucked and got hurt because he was faking it and all that. But you know what?
We're past it was AJ Dillon at the 2, and then it was 4 Eagles. That's what it was.
Who's the second Packer other than Dillon?
I think Aaron Jones, right?
You think?
I think it was him.
I think it was Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Double Packer running back build, and you were all over that passing attack. Congrats, man.
It didn't work out for me there. So we were both of that. But that's okay. You know, we got opportunities to bounce back here. You've obviously been crushing it in the soccer streets. So I want to give you the congrats for that. It's been going well for you over there. I haven't played that much Rubio because I don't want to wake up for it. But
yeah, I don't blame you, man. You sent me a text the other day that maybe you could just question why you woke up for it. No, I'm playing. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, I know. I did ask you because I had a 0.8% guy in my lineup. I just fell on it and I just said whatever. I was scrambling and I was tired. So it's not easy building those lineups, when you wake up.
That's
half awake. So, but let's go over to you, Kurt. I know Cowboys Colts is not your favorite game tonight, but excited to hear your takes on it. And how was your NFL slate today?
First of all, I came on here pre-show and said that I'm so excited for this game.
You're not.
I love watching Jeff Saturday.
Don't lie to me, Kurt.
I heard that, Kurt.
That's okay.
Rubio and Mega, they agree. I was like, I can't wait to watch Jeff Saturday get this huge upset today. But I want high scoring games every game. I'm an extra offensive lineman. I like offense. I know we got one. I like Dallas's offense. Colts offense, not so much. But here we are. Is a day. I had some Browns defense. I don't have any Adams. I didn't do as bad as I thought I would, but didn't do great. It wasn't great. I kind of wish that Bengals and Chiefs game would have been like 50-50, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So it's what we say in the football when we play. Man, you play football. It's never as bad as what the film says, and it's never as good as something like that. It's been a while, but yeah,
it's definitely been a while.
So here we are.
Totally remember. When you said the first part of the term, I was like, yeah, that's true. I've definitely heard something along that lines, but I can't remember.
I forgot. It's been too long.
It's been way too long, but cool. Let's go over to you, Megan. How was your day? You had a nice tie, so I'm sure you're a little different today about your Commanders. But how was your sweat as well today for the football streets?
Right. Yeah. I had some friends in town for the Ravens game, which that was a barn burner too. So, but I went to the Washington bar to watch the tie and then met them out for a little bit. So it was a fun day. Maryland is now a legal sports betting state. So my friends are now like losing their minds. So it was funny to watch them like kids in a candy store today. That was pretty funny. Awesome. So that was cool. But DFS, I was too high. I've been playing more short slate. And in the early slate, I was really high on the expensive running backs, Chubb and Henry, and thought that, that didn't work. And then afternoon, actually, I've been busy getting ready for this. I need to see where I ended up, but overall, pretty average to not great day. So ready to move on to Showdown.
Yeah. Was it, and maybe your friends are watching, was it their fault because they don't know much about sports, right? You have to sweat with them. There's nothing worse when you have to sweat with someone that like doesn't know what's happening. And like, now they don't know sports.
They're learning quickly. They're learning quickly, my friends. But
well, that's good. That's good. There's nothing, there's no worse thing than watching like with family. My brutal one is when I watch with the family. Sometimes like I get the, and I love my grandma, right? I doubt my grandma's listening. But like, so she'll be like, the Jaguars scored. Is that good for you? And it's just like, I've been buried. You know what I mean? I've been buried alive. You know what I mean? I feel terrible. It's always fun to watch with the family, but at the same time, there's sometimes moments where you're just like, I just got absolutely just destroyed. And I did get destroyed in the Colts showdown recently. So I want to lean on you guys to help me bounce back here on this one. Should be a good little slate that we got here. Rubio, let's go to you first because you did the playbook. You've been working hard on this slate. What are we looking at today? Give me kind of an overview of the slate before we kind of dive in.
Yeah, just real quick. I have a quick correction for you. 4-1 shipped on FanDuel according to chat, so I still win. So anyway, back to the slate.
FanDuel, no one. Is this a FanDuel show?
It's my time to speak. Is
this a FanDuel show?
It's my time to speak.
My turn.
Anyway, the playbook here. I was going through it. It's really hard to get away.
Talk about the MVP slot. Rubio, the floor is yours to talk about FanDuel MVPs.
I was just about to get to that, Mangone. So I have 4 guys highlighted for the captain spot and MVP spot. Most of them are Cowboys, but if I am going to go with the Chase script, I am going to go with Michael Pittman Jr. of the Colts here because I'm not high on Jonathan Taylor. This Cowboys defense is fierce. They're ferocious, and they get the job done every single game, it seems like. And I'm afraid that this one gets away from the Colts early. And we see it with these guys who are very dependent on the run game to get there. We see it with Derrick Henry. When the script kind of falls out of their favor, it's really hard for them to get there, to get those touchdowns, get those rushing yards, to kind of get those touches to begin with. So I think I'm going to be underweight on JT a ton. And the 4 captains and MVP guys I'm looking at are CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, and then Michael Pittman Jr., and then Tony Pollard, of course. If he's getting, 15 to 20 touches like he has been the past few weeks, I'm all ears. He's got the most explosive ability on the slate here. And I think, you're just looking at it here. He's cheap on Draftkings, and on FanDuel, he's a little bit more expensive, but I'm just really kind of thrilled with the way this plays out. I hate to be another onslaught guy here, but it's looking a lot like 5-1 Cowboys because last week was disheartening watching them Colts play on primetime TV. Matt Ryan actually has a noodle arm. I'm afraid to see what Micah Parsons does to him today. And these 5-1 Bills are just coming easy. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, though.
I am definitely excited to kind of talk about like what we're doing with the Dallas defense as we kind of dive into this slate, just because this is like a really bad spot for Matt Ryan. It definitely does not line up well for him. And Megan, we'll go to you next to talk about these captains. And you're new to doing shows. I just want to let you know, this is a little tip for you. Rubio is now our FanDuel expert for the rest of the show. So if you guys have FanDuel questions, fire away in the chat.
I like FanDuel too, but
that's what you do when you're the host, Megan. When one of the analysts kind of gets out of line, you got to just put them right back in their place. So if you got any FanDuel specific questions, we got the FanDuel analyst Rubio Dimes to answer them all for you guys the rest of the way.
Bring them on.
Megan, captain spot. What are we doing tonight? Because I'm going to admit, I need some help. I mean, Paris Campbell's someone I like to play, but man, I don't know if I can get behind it today. I do think that's kind of the build I normally like to do. I like to find a mid-tier captain and go from there. Maybe it needs to be Zeke or Pollard. I mean, maybe we just play dusty Zeke while other people are scared to. What's your thoughts here on how to handle the captain spot?
This is so boring, but I basically agree fully with Rubio's captains of Dak, Lamb, Pollard, and Pittman being my favorite. But if you want to get contrarian, and I took a goose egg for this and I put it in my cores last week, so I'm, taking the L, but hopefully he kind of circles back and does better this week. Alec Pierce would be an incredibly contrarian captain in a trailing script. He did get 3 targets. One, I think he had a catch that got called back, and then he had 2 targets last week that he didn't catch. So very risky, but in huge field on DraftKings, that's my contrarian one, because everything else is going to be exactly what Rubio said.
Was the one you said Michael Gallup? Was that the one?
Oh, Alec Pierce was my 0 last week.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the one you said this week, the contrarian captain. I missed who you said.
Sorry, Alec Pierce.
Oh, Alec Pierce. Okay. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, listen, I'm with you. The Michael Pittman thing didn't work out either. So I'm totally with you. It's going to be tough here. Let's go over to Kurt and kind of get his takes here on this one, because it's going to be rough to watch this one. What are you doing here with this one, Kurt? I mean, I think it's a spot where you got to like some Cowboys here, but could we get behind any Colts in the captain spot? I mean, when I look at them, the only guys I can think of are like Paris Campbell or maybe Michael Pittman, maybe Jonathan Taylor, but against this defense, I'm kind of scared to do it.
Yeah, if you want to get super contrarian, I would just stick with they keep the game close. Taylor falls in the end zone. Taylor's catching the passes. I would go Taylor or Pittman the studs, because I mean Pittman trailing script, or if he's just cooking them. I'm telling you what, CeeDee Lamb is going to absolutely cook Kenny Moore here. I mean, if they keep putting him in the slot as much as they have been, Kenny Moore is just dust. CeeDee's going to find his touchdown variance is going to come back around. He might score twice tonight. I know he's the most expensive captain, but this is where I'm rolling on my main. As far as anyone, Alec Pierce, it's so cheap, and like in this trailing script where it's like they're almost like playing prevent just because it's like, okay, let's just run the clock out. But man, his matchup, he's projected to take the most snaps against Trayvon Diggs, and Diggs has been usually someone who just like last year, he was kind of just getting used to like taking all these chances. This year, he's just turned into like a lockdown corner. But, in a big trail script, he's playing off so far. It might not even matter for 3,800. But I'm a little bit scared there. So maybe in games I think it stays close, I won't be targeting Pierce. But for my captain, mostly just keeping it up top. This running back situation is tough. Pollard finally got the most snaps, and they even had a couple carries inside the 5. But if he gets on that 1 or 2 yard line, Big Zeke's coming in. And Zeke actually kind of showed me a little explosiveness last week. But that's just kind of my first thoughts on the slate. Get back to y'all.
Cool. Rubio, let's go back over to you. Let's talk about some of these other options here up top. Let's talk about them in the flex. Like sometimes when we play Showdown, there's guys that are just like on these kind of slates where it's a little rough. There's guys that just feel like absolute locks in the flex spot. Like, is Dak Prescott one of them? Is it CeeDee Lamb? It does feel like kind of a raw point slate. What's your thoughts here on how to handle like these top end guys in the flex spot, Rubio?
Yeah, like top end, I feel like if you're playing like CeeDee Lamb and it's not in the captain spot, then you almost certainly want to fade Dak. But if you're playing CeeDee Lamb in the captain spot, then you have to go with Dak in the flex. That's my opinion too. Like just looking at that, because I think there's just so much correlation. Like CeeDee Lamb has to go off at 10-8, and can he do it in 3/4 time? And I know I'm thinking that this could be a route, and that's what I'm thinking of. This thing could become a milking of the clock, could become one of those things where the Cowboys are just running the ball in the second half, and does CeeDee Lamb have enough upside to get there compared to Pollard and Zeke, which that's going to be an interesting thing we can talk about a little bit later. But do you stack Pollard and Zeke in the same builds, and can one of them be the captain in that case? Because I'm debating it right now, and I'm building. I'm on FanDuel grinding right now. So right when I heard Alec Pierce mentioned, I put him in a build. Right when I heard CeeDee Lamb mentioned, I put him in a build. So, I'm liking this FanDuel gig here. So anyway, but back to the point, like in terms of flex, I'm looking at Dalton Schultz a lot. I know he's not in the top high end tier, but on FanDuel, he's super cheap at 7,500. And that's just really soft. And I know that one of my biggest concerns with Dalton Schultz right now is I think they want to save him for the big games, because it just feels like he's kind of getting a limited amount of work, because they're working in Jake Ferguson, they're working in Peyton Hendershot sometimes too. So that's my only fear. It might be like in one of those things where does Dalton Schultz get enough burn on DK at 5,800? But on FanDuel, I'm taking that risk at 7,500. I mean, that's below the kicker's price. That's the same price as Alec Pierce and stuff. I both like. I have them both in my lineup right now. So yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm sticking with those 4 guys, and I'm kind of alternating the flex. I think those top 4 guys are clear cut though.
Yeah, I love the Dalton Schultz call. He's definitely someone that I'm looking to play. And more I looked at it, I mean, I think Dalton Schultz captain might be a guy that I go to. We'll have to see. That's someone I'm definitely think I'm going to consider here.
That's what won on Thanksgiving, by the way, not to interrupt you, because I was sweating out. I had a Lamb captain, and I believe Dalton Schultz captain is what won on. I mean,
I had that bad boy.
Did you? Well, congrats.
I swear Thanksgiving was so good to me. Every single showdown I had a sweat. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
no, congratulations. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a big Dalton Schultz guy now.
Well, Dalton Schultz, definitely someone I'm looking at, Kurt. Let's go back over to you. Kurt, who are we playing up top then? Obviously, you like some Dalton Schultz. You said you shipped a Cowboys Showdown slate, so you must have all the takes for us. What are you doing here with some of these Dallas plays up top?
So I'm going to be captaining Dalton Schultz just because he was a hero for me. But if it wasn't for that, this is a good matchup. But for everything that Rubio mentioned, like if you look at, they do a lot of 12 personnel. So, I mean, he's going to get a lot of snaps, but they are working in these other guys. Mm-hmm. And I think what he just said, I think is more of a FanDuel play, but he did well for me. Maybe he can do it again. The Colts have not really done a good job against stopping tight ends, so don't mind it at all. And it lets you fit a lot of stuff as well. I think if you go JT, I think if I'm doing Schultz captain, it's going to be a line that I want to get JT in. I'll just say that. But as far as another mid-tier, Noah Brown is another guy who's going to be in the slot just as much as CeeDee Lamb. Another matchup to attack there. Gallup, I saw something about how this is the week that guys coming off ACLs, like this is when they kind of have their full like speed or something like that. So that's something important like to monitor, but it's not as good as a matchup. And I'd rather just honestly play Noah Brown for like lower ownership, lower price. Other mid-tier, we're on the mid-tier, right? Man, yeah,
Cowboys D. I don't kind of like up top mid tier. That's fine. You just go right into it. That's fine.
So as far as Zeke and Pollard, I'm leaning Pollard. He had 6% of the snaps last week, but like I said, I mean, you just got to hope that they don't get on the 1 or 2 because Big Zeke's coming in. So I'm going to just lean Pollard, and then I'll just bet Zeke to score 2 touchdowns or something. But I'm not. I just can't press Zeke, even though he looked good to me last week. I'm just going all in on Pollard. I love the young guy. I'm okay with his, like, he's never going to have a bell cow role, but I think that whatever this role is, I like it. 6% of the snaps, get everything besides like the straight up goal line. Cowboys D, 6,200, man. If they don't score, I don't think they get there. And what helps that is Turpin is one of the best returners in the league. So you also got that added bonus, which makes me think, well, there's multiple ways they can score. So is 6,200 that bad? I don't know. In some scripts, of course, slide them in there, but I don't captain the Cowboys D, and I hate that. Hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not huge on the old defense in the captain spot. I will say though, it's rough for the raw points tonight. Like, man, you could see it's just the Cowboys D is definitely in the conversation for sure. This is a different defense line, no doubt. This isn't your normal defenses, but they're priced up a little bit. Let's go over to you, Rubio. How are you handling this mid-tier, right? There's obviously some interesting options here. If we're looking at it, you got to put the defense in that conversation. They are at, 6'2". Then if we get cheaper, we got Noah Brown, 4'8", Paris Campbell, 5'2", who's been pretty good besides last week. Other than that, though, he's been pretty solid, even though it's a tough matchup. You got the kickers, Jelani Woods, who shipped it for Hoop. We got Alec Pierce, who Megan talked about. Who are these like mid-tier options that you're looking at?
Yeah, I will start off the Cowboys defense. Like I said, I think it's a bash script, and this Cowboys defense is a monster. 45 sacks this year. It seems that they're a turnover machine too, and it seems like Matt Ryan wants to turn the ball over, and that's what it felt like against the Steelers. And this Cowboys defense is 6.2, staring me dead in the eye. I'm clicking on them every single time. I even think they might be in the conversation for the captain spot as well, and that goes on FanDuel too, where I just think this is the perfect setup. This Colts offensive line is terrible. I think that Matt Ryan just doesn't have the arm strength, and I could see Diggs kind of returning one, or Micah Parsons strip sack for 6. There's just so many ways they can get there, and I just think it's a perfect setup for them. And as far as the mid-tier goes, I mean, we saw Paris Campbell. He was 6'8" last slate. Now he's 5'2". We saw Alec Pierce, I think, was high 4s. Now he's in the, the 3,800 on DK and then 7,500 on FanDuel, I believe. So like there's a lot of merit to going him for sure, because we just saw it when the game got away from them against Philly a little bit. They had to throw the ball more, and Alec Pierce had 8 targets, and I just don't think these guys are going to be popular. And I won't dip into the value section right now, but talking about Jelani Woods a little bit, and you got Kylan Granson back, and that muddies up the water for the tight end snaps a little bit. Despite how well Jelani Woods played, Kylan Granson was the tight end ahead of him in the depth chart. Maybe that changes, but Granson's been pretty decent this season. Matt Ryan has decent rapport with him, and it's not one of those things where I really have any interest in Jelani Woods for sure. But Paris Campbell, like before last week, was killing it. He's got speed for days too. You hit him on a soft slant, maybe he takes it to the house. I think it was the Raiders game that he did that. And so you just have so much potential. And I think the way I see it is that these Colts have to pass the ball 40, 50 times just because they're going to be behind the whole game. And that's where Alec Pierce, that's where Paris Campbell comes into play. And especially if you're not paying up for Pittman, you got to have at least one Colt. And I'm definitely doing a pass catcher in that range.
All right, before we go over to you, Megan, I do want to, ask people to hit the like. I mean, let's see the numbers, 700 to 100. That's not great, right? Well, we could easily just get on out of here. I mean, we got, I think 30 minutes left. So let's hit that like button, get that thing home. We'll give out some showdown cores along the way too. And if you don't know what showdown cores are, this is what they are. We got 3 options here for you to pick from. Rubio's got his captain, and you get his 2 flex options. We got a cash one. JSU gives it out. Hoop has it, Kate Fallick, Megan, Glock, Kurt, Uncle T, Snyder, all giving it out. So be sure to check out that over on the Showdown Playbook. Also, Rubio gives away top captains, gives away guys that are DraftKings guys, FanDuel preference plays for you FanDuel guys out there, fades as well. So we got it all over here at Run Pure Sports. So be sure to check out that content and sign up now so you can give it a look and get on those core plays. And again, like I said, hit that like button, please. We would appreciate it a ton. Megan, let's go over to you. How do you want to handle this mid-tier? Obviously some pretty good options to look at. I think kickers are definitely in play today. I'm definitely going to be considering them. Noah Brown, I know it was brought up by Kurt before. What do you think of him, and how are you kind of handling these options?
Yeah, the guys covered a lot of the mid-tier options that I'm interested in. Obviously Paris Campbell, Schultz, Pierce, we talked about that. Dallas defense, I'm doing that more in builds that are onslaught or at least 4-2. So kind of telling that story. And then definitely interested in the kickers, but more so the Dallas kicker. And again, whether it's an onslaught, I definitely have more interest in, obviously the kicker who's the favorite. You kind of just are drawn to that a little bit more. So definitely the kickers too, but more so Mayer for Dallas.
Yeah, I've gone back and forth on which one to go because the McLaughlin one gives me like a 3-3, and I kind of think the 3-3 is kind of more unique. I think more people are leaning that 4-2 with the Cowboys, so that's why I went with him on my one team that I just built, but not like absolutely married to it or anything like that. So let's see. Clint is wondering why I'm yelling. Well, Clint, I'm not happy because one, you guys aren't hitting the likes, so I want to get those in there. And 2, sometimes people need to be yelled at. Earlier at the show, Rubio needed to be yelled at. If Kurt needs to be yelled at, I'll get him in line. I won't yell at him.
Or that pre-show. For wanting good football games.
I know. I heard that, Kurt. Mangone is aggressive today. I don't like it.
All I wanted was good football games.
We all want good football games. But the thing is, you guys, you just need to live in a world of reality. Listen, the Colts have to get a primetime game. So do the Cowboys.
I want to go to Rainbow Land.
People love the Cowboys. Like, people love to talk about them. So they're going to be on primetime 5 times a year, and we're going to have to deal with it.
I like the
Cowboys are fine, Mangone. It's the Colts.
I mean, again, we didn't expect the Colts to be like this. I mean, no one did. So what are we supposed to do? You just can't flex it out that easy, It's just how it works. So, but anyways, let's keep this thing moving along. Some people keep asking about the Dallas defense and the captain spot. I mean, I just can't.
Rubio loves it.
What?
Rubio loves it. He wants to take his 8 points and captain 8 points, baby. Let's go.
There you go, Kurt.
They average 10.6, Kurt. They
average 10.6, baby. I'll take CD as his freaking 35 burger. You enjoy your 10.
Both.
10.
Huh? Take both.
There you go. Gator Nation loves it when I unleash the hounds. You know why, Gator? You know what that means? If I'm not doing that, if you don't see me for like a month to kind of get some passion, something's wrong. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always going to bring the passion for you, Gator. So appreciate having you here. But what should we go to? Kurt, we talked to you about the mid-tier a little bit. Actually, Kurt, go all the way to the value plays. Because you and Rubio, I know you guys love to stroke Peyton Hendershot. So is it every slate seems like a Peyton Hendershot slate to you guys, but break it down for me. How are you handling the value? Because I just don't think we need to go down to this range, but maybe you got some take that can change my mind.
We can basically call this a tight end range. I mean, that's what it is. Like both these teams use their tight end a lot, and they use multiple tight ends. And if you go on his value range, that's all you see is tight ends. I agree with you. I'm leaning more the kickers. The last time all three of these tight ends were healthy for the Colts, it was like 50 Mo Alley Cox, 30 for Granson, I think 20 for Woods. Obviously, Woods is kind of busted on the scene more here. I think it's going to be straight up like 35 type of deal, honestly, if they still like Granson, or Granson gets like only 20 or something like that. But it's tough. And not to mention, like, Jelani Woods is banged up. So if he wasn't banged up, I'd be like, okay, I'll take a shot. But man, him being banged up really hurts. I'd rather just take a shot on like Mo Alley Cox and hope he catches like a 1-yard touchdown or some shit. But it's not great. I really just like taking the kickers, and that's about it, man. I want to give so I guess mine would be Mo Alley Cox, and that's all I got down here.
All right. So it looks like Mo Alley Cox is the guy that Kurt's considering. Also, one more thing to mention. I just pulled up Big T Showdown player pool. It's not up yet, but if you look at his player pool, right? Sometimes when he here it is. It's loaded in. He's got his slate fades up in there, or his slate stuff up, and he had all the Dusty Colts. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Slate fades, all Dusty Colts. So there you go. He is not high on the Colts. I'll tell you that right now. He named Matt Ryan, who he's fading. I love the name. Matt Ryan, the statue. So there you go. I gave out Big T's fate, so you kind of know what side that he's going on, but you ain't getting his core. You're going to have to subscribe to find that out over here at Run Pure Sports. So be sure to go check it out. Megan, let's go to you. How are you handling these cheap options? Obviously, we talked about Mo Alley Cox. Kind of interesting. Granson, Rubio brought up some really interesting points about that. I just don't think this is a spot where I can go for these cheap options. How about you?
Right with you. And first of all, thank you for not yelling at me. I appreciate it.
I won't yell at you, Megan. But
okay,
the other
I
two,
appreciate that.
I can yell at them. I feel
that's
like it's
awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I really do not have any interest in the really cheapies today. And I'm kind of living in that, I'm building lineups that I'm very happy with without having to dip down there. So I know that's kind of a boring answer, but I am not going there today.
All right. We got that's Simon in the chat on the account. He says, don't forget that DC of Dallas was Matt Ryan's head coach for about 6 seasons. So that should be interesting.
That's a great point.
Butho Jenkins is asking Big T to set me straight. Butho, he's not here. So you better call him to get on. You better get out from under his desk and tell him, hey, it's time to hop on the show and have Big T get in there. But he is not here with us, but he's got the stuff up on the site. So if you guys want it, go get it. He'll also have a show tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. That Showdown show with JT Hayes and Cedome should be a good time. You get to hear him talk bad about Tom Brady. You get the Saints, Taysom Hill season. So that'll be a fun show for sure to check out. And we got tons of great content over here at Run Pure Sports that you guys should check out. We also have the NBA Rundown with Spread Astaire. We got Talking TDs with Kurt. We got the NBA Hardwood show. Kurt, since I have you here, how about you tell the people about the Talking TD shows? What do you guys discuss on that Friday show? Let the people know.
It's a lot of me screaming and talking about offensive lineman techniques.
All right. Well, if you want the big dudes takes, the big offensive lineman, want to hear about that, Kurt's got it for you there. Fun time. You get to join Tyler and Spread too, which I always love joining them. I always hang out with them on Tuesdays for that NBA rundown. So if you want to hear me screaming at Spread, yelling at Tyler, be sure to check that show out.
They're fun. They're so fun to do a show with.
Oh, they are for sure. And Tyler scooped some bucks from me. I've been backing the Fins all year. I had to just say, hey, Fins over the Niners, and it didn't work out, but that's okay.
You had it fall right for you too with the injury.
I did have it fall right. You're right. I mean, I was definitely at more of a disadvantage, and I was like, I don't want to take this, but you know what I said? I got to do it for the show, right? I got to jump on it. I've been backing this team all year, so yeah, it didn't fall. I think it's more of a testament of how good the Niners are rather than because Jimmy G, we know how bad he is. You know what I mean? It's not like Brock Purdy's any better. That team is just really good. If they had a real quarterback, man, they would just be the front runner for sure, in my opinion. Let's see. Rubio, obviously this is a great time to fire questions into the chat. If you want for Rubio to answer all those FanDuel questions. I know sometimes people get upset, but Rubio is going to have all the FanDuel questions locked down. Also, Rubio, it's time to ask. 5-1, 4-2. What is it this week? What's the route? 3-3. Let me know.
So it's 4-1. So I mean that's the biggest thing I'm looking at. It's definitely a 4-1.
Oh my God.
Here.
On FanDuel. What about DK too? Give us DK.
Oh, DK, my bad. 5-1.
All right. So it's onslaughts no matter what. Rubio's on the onslaughts. Is it easy? Are you putting the easy stamp on it again or no?
Because I think the ADOT on a lot of these Colts wide receivers is so low. I could easily see like Pierce and like Pittman getting there.
Yeah,
like,
the 4-2 can sneak in. That's I know.
It can sneak in. I mean, we saw it last week
could.
with that stupid Aaron Jones. I don't know how he got there.
It was even funnier that it was AJ Dillon captain, because it was the reason why it had to be AJ Dillon captain is because all those cheap guys we talked about last week were so awful and no one did anything that you literally couldn't put Hurts in the captain. Like it just didn't work. It was so amazing. I was dying when I saw AJ Dillon captain, just like in first place. But oh man. Okay, cool. Let's go over to you, Megan. What's the route that you're looking at here on this slate?
Pretty much the same, mostly 4-2. Just because I do think the volume in a trailing script may get a couple Colts there, and 4-1 or 3-2 on FanDuel, because I like FanDuel too.
All right, Kurt, what is your route? I'm still building my team. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I had one in and I don't like it anymore, so I'm trying to mess with it. Maybe
I know I'm messing with one. I can't.
What's the route you're going? Because I highly doubt I'm going 5-1 Cowboys, but I want to hear maybe you can convince me, or maybe you got some other contrarian route for me.
I gotta be honest. I only do 5-1 when other people aren't doing 5-1. Like I'd never do it in a spot like this. It's gonna be 4-2, whether it's like 2 pass catchers or like JT and 1 pass catcher who gets like the garbage touchdown, something like that. It's always 4-2, or even like maybe even a 3-3. But I'd never do the onslaught.
All right, yeah, I'm currently on the 3-3, but I don't know. I kind of want to move CD Lamb to Pollard. I think that's kind of what I'm messing around with. So we'll see what I end up kind of going with by the end of it. It'll either be 4-2 or it'll either be 3-3. Still trying to figure out which build to end up going with. All right, cool. Fire questions in the chat. We got 18 minutes. Because again,
we finished fast.
Yeah. That's because we don't have Bills and Bengals to talk about. You know what I mean?
You got a point.
We got Colts and Cowboys. It's a little rough here to discuss the slate, of course, but. Let's see. Questions in the chat. Nice. Hank, I like your question. You asked Meg, but can you ask Rubio if he likes Cox? So Rubio, do you like Cox?
I know he loves Cox.
Yeah, Mo Alley Cox is not a big fan from me. You know, I think he's tight end number 3 on the depth chart. But if you're chasing the stray touchdown throw, I don't hate it. He's a big target. He's always been known to get 1 catch, 15 yards and a touchdown. So I mean, I don't hate it, but not for me. It's not my cup of tea.
All right, let's see what else we can get. Dallas defense with Elliott. Dallas defense with Elliott will be the winner. What do you think about the Dallas defense with Elliott, Rubio? How would you play your Dallas defense captain team? Like, what's the setup it will look like?
Oh, man, it's definitely a 5-1 build, I think, for sure. I think you jam in Lamb and Dak because I don't think you're expecting Pittman or Ryan to do anything, or even Jonathan Taylor for that matter. So I think you're definitely playing the 2 Cowboy studs up top. And then, God, you can even double tap Pollard and Zeke in the same build probably as well. I'm looking at it right now on SaberSim with that tool of the captain spot. I can just hit that little magnifying glass and it teaches me all the ways of what the Cowboys script is building me. So let's check it out. It's a lot of 5-1s. It even has like Alec Pierce and it jams the studs. I mean, it doesn't have a ton of Pollard plus Zeke though, but it does jam the studs and runs it back with a cheap mid-tier Colts player for sure.
When you run it, Rubio, do you get who are your top, like, give me your top 5 captains when you run it? Because I'm curious if we have similar or not.
Pollard, Lamb, Prescott, and the Cowboys defense are tied, and then Pittman is 5th.
And mine go Taylor, Schultz, Lamb, Gallup, and then Pollard. I'm either going Schultz or Pollard. I think someone asked me in the chat who my favorite captain is. I'm either going Schultz or Pollard. I don't know which one yet. I will let you know when I decide. I'll definitely call it out. I just did find a pretty interesting kicker captain actually. I don't.
I could see that. I could see that being it here. Honestly, if they knock a couple 50-yarders or something, Like if the Cowboys just like stall out or something and like early and 250 yards bang through and they score 3 touchdowns or something, hell, maybe.
Yeah, I do like the construction of that team. It doesn't go Pollard though, so I would probably want Pollard on it. So it's probably not.
Can we talk about the fact that this Colts offensive line, their personnel didn't change much. They legit just forgot how to block. What the hell happened?
Oh, I don't know. I know last week, I know what's his name came out. The one center they have. He did come out of the game for a little bit, but
Ryan or something.
Yeah,
Ryan
it's
Kelly, yeah.
Ryan Kelly. Yeah.
Ryan Kelly, yeah.
But their team's been an absolute mess when it comes to the offensive line. Like, I don't know why it just hasn't been good. It doesn't make any sense to me.
They've had games where like Ryan Kelly's been healthy, Quentin Nelson's been healthy. All the guys have been healthy, and they look terrible. It's like, I don't know how, but Ryan Kelly and Quentin Nelson have regressed. And it's crazy because Quentin Nelson, I thought he was going to be like a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's not been terrible, but he's not been Quentin Nelson this year, man. And it's tough to see. It's random. I was hoping like Jeff Saturday would kind of like, I think he's gotten a little bit better, but I was hoping to have an offensive line coach maybe would like spark whatever has gone wrong. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out tonight. Maybe they'll be back. But damn, this is not a good time to get right. It's not a good. If you're an offensive lineman, this is not a get right spot. I'll tell you that much.
Not the old get right game for them. Actually, I think I found it. Hold on. Let's I guess let me pull up a question so I can ask one of you guys. Let's see. Someone said McLaughlin captain, laughing to the bank with McLaughlin. I don't think that's it, but you never know. Not for me. Someone in the chat said Cowboys aren't stalling out 35-13. How do you think a lineup with JT as your captain? John Tucker asked that. Megan, let me go to you about that one. I think the captains for the captain spot for going JT is interesting, but if I did it, I would probably still want to make it with like maybe just 2 Colts where it's like just Taylor and the captain and then like 1 Colt. Like, I don't think I'd want to go the full onslaught of the Colts. What's your kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would basically agree with that. Just hoping that the reason Taylor, kind of like Dylan last week, the reason that Taylor's in there is because, he soaks up all that from the Colt side, and then you just only need 1 other Colt. So yeah, I would say if you did a Jonathan Taylor captain, that it still could be a 4-2 Dallas or a 2-4, with 4 Cowboys coming back. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Jimmy G, broken foot.
Yeah, that's out for the season. So you're gonna have Brock Purdy leading the way for now. I don't know. We'll see what they end up doing.
Oh man, God, they were. Whew. That's a tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. I don't think you have to find a way to overcome it for sure, but we'll have to see. Let's see. Man, I wish. What is his price tag? I can't. Oh, I can get him in there. Huh. I think I found a team that I'm going to play and leave the salary on the table with. It looks pretty solid.
Is it Pollard captain?
Nah, it doesn't work. I don't know. I'm all over the place with my setup for sure. I can't figure it out. Let's see what questions we have so I can actually sit and figure it out. Let's see. Oh, Genius says that I owe him an iPhone because his speakers blew out. Well, no, that's on you, Oh Genius. You know why? You should be wearing AirPods. So maybe I owe you AirPods, but I don't owe you that. You should have AirPods in. That's a mistake on your part. You should have AirPods in there. Game starts in 11 minutes. That is correct. It doesn't start in 7 minutes. It's 11. Let's see. Taylor captain, Paris Campbell, Cowboys D, Pollard, Lamb, Meyer. Thoughts? Well, that's a full lineup. It sounds fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if would you play Taylor captain with the Cowboys defense, Rubio? That's definitely unique, but what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, probably not. I think you'd definitely be banking on a defensive touchdown for sure. And how do you envision Taylor getting there in the captain spot is the biggest thing. And if you think it's through the passing game, that's fine then. But if I don't think he can do it through the passing game, so it's not good in my eyes. But if you think so, absolutely can do that.
No, that's a good point for sure. No, I did get my team actually, and it leaves. Someone said they're leaving $1,900 on the table. This team that I have leaves a lot of money on the table. This thing leaves $2,100. So, Rubio, what's your thoughts on leaving $1,900 or $2,100 on the table today?
I like it. My first one was almost 4 digits left over. So I think it's really easy to leave salary. I mean, you kind of pinpoint a couple of Colts plays you like, and well, if you only have one Colt, well, I mean, it kind of forces you down to where like, oh, you can go Campbell or Woods or Granson or McLaughlin or Pierce, right? And I think like a lot of those builds, I mean, a lot of those guys project similarly too. And it's definitely one of those slates where it makes a lot of sense to, if you're just going one Colt, you can leave some salary at like 2K and just hope that one outperforms the other. I usually I don't love it because you can't really upgrade in other places, like, or you can upgrade in other places, but and I think you can get the 5 best Cowboys plays in the same build and then just pick one Colt left over.
Yeah, Vincent has 6,700 left over, so that's a lot. I don't know about that. Kurt, would you leave 6,700?
No, because Pittman would definitely be in range at that point.
Yeah.
I think Pittman, for me, projects about like 5 points better than the next best guy for the Colts. So it'd be tough to go away from him if I had the salary to do it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Again, if you have FanDuel questions, Rubio's here. There it is, a FanDuel question. Zeke, Pollard, JT on FanDuel. Fill in the rest. Libs, we can't do that. We can't fill in the rest for you, but Rubio, how about this? Zeke, Pollard, JT on FanDuel. How about you answer this? Maybe he already has someone else in the captain spot. Who would be your favorite captain favorite MVP on FanDuel between Zeke, Pollard, and JT?
It would be Pollard. And just to kind of retract real quick, someone put, is it hard to play kickers on FanDuel with so many viable touchdown scorers below them? In my opinion, yes. I think like there's a couple guys, there's a lot of clear pass, but at the same time, they don't have like the full PPR reception, point. But I think it's harder on FanDuel to play kickers. But kind of getting back to that, I think Pollard's one of my favorite MVP guys because everyone loves to click CD Lamb's name up top. Everyone loves to click Dak Prescott's name at the MVP. And it kind of leaves like a little bit of an under-owned because you can fit anyone in the MVP slot on FanDuel. It doesn't take away any more or any less salary. So Pollard's my guy tonight. Then it would be Zeke, and then it would be JT. I think I gave JT a really low projection, so not really on him at all.
Okay. I'm not. Is the FanDuel thing sell out, Rubio? Let's see. It is not. I'm gonna get a team in there just for you, Rubio. I'm gonna throw.
Oh, that's awesome. We can compete.
Yeah, I'm gonna toss one in. I'm gonna throw in a Pollard MVP. I'm gonna pair it up with what else should I pair it with? We'll put obviously Dak for the flex. Gonna fade. What's the big fade on FanDuel, Rubio? What's the big fade you have?
All the Colts.
Schultz, wouldn't it be? If he's priced that soft.
Who would it be?
Schultz with him 7,500.
Yeah, Schultz 7,500.
Coming off 2 touchdowns.
No, I think the bigger fades are like the up top guys. Like people just always jam them. I don't know. That's what.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, Matt Ryan, Michael Pittman.
Yeah, maybe I'll just.
We thinking like a Cowboy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to make the build unique or whatever in some kind of way.
What if you fade Dak and then it's just like Lamb gets 2 and then it's like a rushing touchdown. Just Dak doesn't get there.
That's
true. The Dak idea is actually interesting.
Well, because then you can double running back with CD and you probably have.
Well, what if he does it end around to Lamb and it's a rushing touchdown? Then Lamb has a receiving touchdown and then it's like a Zeke or Pollard, and then Zach gets like 16 points.
Yeah, and you wouldn't want to play Dalton Schultz, right? Like, because like obviously if he would catch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is all right, Kurt. I'm in. I like this team. I'm putting it in as a team. There we go. Apone keeps saying Rodgers gonna get traded. Like Apone, no one can get traded. Like no one. Like it's the deadline's over, right? I'm not crazy. Deadline's over, correct, Megan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over in like week 6, right? It's like a terrible timeline for it. So no, Rodgers cannot get traded. It's just, I mean, maybe he gets traded in the offseason, but he does not get traded today or tomorrow. Someone asked Boho Jenkins. He asked about Jelani Woods captain. If you were a subscriber, you could check out your hero Big T's page and see. I'll give you a tip. He's not on Jelani Woods captain. He doesn't want to play many dusty Colts. But Rubio, what's your thoughts here on Jelani Woods captain?
It kind of goes back to my point earlier with Kylan Granson back. It's really tough to justify Jelani Woods at captain, let alone utility. But at the same time, like he played really well. How do you take snaps away from him if you wanted to argue that way? But I mean, that 8 for 98 with maybe half the snaps. I mean, Granson was their tight end number 1 for the most part, and he's healthy again. He's back for this game, and Jelani Woods definitely takes a hit. Definitely does.
Sorry, I'm Rubio. I'm going to give out my core for the people. All right. We're going to give out Pollard captain, Dak Prescott, and we're going Paris Campbell. That's my DK core for you guys. So I'm going Pollard captain. I'm going Dak Prescott in the flex, and I'm going Paris Campbell. We're giving it another shot with Paris Campbell here. Let's give out another core. Megan, let's have you pick it out. Whose core do we want to give out here on the show?
let's see here. I want to do something different than, well, let's do hoop. I almost did hoop score and
Right, can you give it out? Because I noticed Falik does not have anything in there, and that's because he's at the King of the Beach. So I'm gonna put one in there for him while we're at it.
Yeah, so hoop score is CeeDee Lamb, captain, Dak Prescott, and Brett Mayer. Is it Mayer? Yes.
Mayer.
Dallas kicker.
One of those two.
So yes, I liked the hoop score a lot. Minus the one.
Oh wait, my core is almost exactly like his, except we switched kickers. That's funny. And that's how you know you're on the right path. Someone who just shipped a Colts Showdown.
That's right. That's right.
Sorry guys, I'm typing in things. So someone take over for a second.
Meg, you got
put stuff in last second for the people because
I don't have the.
I know Falik's not doing this because he's just at King of the Beach.
Well,
do you have the?
Congratulations to K Falik on 10th and Tambo, toe tag and Tambo, I believe, got 6th.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, he was up there. Yeah,
payday for him.
Two in the top 10.
Had Aaron Jones and still got 10th. He did it with Justin Fields as his quarterback, Samaje Perine, and Devontae Adams with a 41 bomb too.
Wow.
And the 49ers defense getting a late touchdown for him got him there. So, and Tambo, he did a really good job, of course. You know, he had Trevor Lawrence, he had Amon-Ra St. Brown, Garrett Wilson. Looks like a very chalky build, I can't lie, but it worked. How can you hate on it when it works?
I missed I thought I would have just seen it because like if it was higher up, so they did pretty good actually, so that's good. I gotta find that link for sure at some point here. Oh, there it is. The K Falik, he pinned it in the Discord, so if you guys want to check it out, K Falik put it up there. One
of the questions was, are you not scared of Indianapolis #1 against the pass? It's really because Gilmore. I mean, it's Gilmore and the other guy on the outside. Kenny Moore's been getting cooked in the slot. And it just so happens that Dallas's best player, CeeDee Lamb, is running all his stuff from the slot. So that's why I'm not really scared of it. But yeah, am I scared of Gilmore? Yes, I'm terrified. That's why I'm terrified of Alec Pierce. Gilmore has been like classic Gilmore. So yeah.
For what it's worth,
I'm not too scared.
I think Kenny Moore might be inactive for what it's worth.
Is he really?
I don't know. I heard it.
Oh my good Lord.
So, I wonder who they have is better than him.
It's not going to be better. I mean, it's going to be worse. That's great. That's good news.
I was trying to look for more questions on.
Yeah, I mean the questions are not the greatest right now. So
someone said Mangone.
Favorite FanDuel Colt other than Pittman. Anyone have a favorite one besides Pittman? Mine would be Paris Campbell, but yeah, I think Paris Campbell's solid. Anyone else?
Ooh. On FanDuel, just in the flex?
I mean, yeah, I guess in the flex, any of them.
I did Pierce in my course. See if he goes 0 again. Hopefully not.
Yeah, we're just like throwing crap against the wall, right? We're just hoping things stick.
CeeDee Lamb is going to legit put his nuts. If it's not too much of a blowout, oh my God.
Why is he going to?
Because their slot cornerbacks out, and Kenny Moore's been bad, but he's the best he's better than whatever the hell next guy is going to be. I'm trying to see who it's going to be, but
yeah,
I mean, he's keeping in the slot the whole time. My Lord.
Well, you only got 2 minutes, so.
Oh no, this is just everything stays the same for me. I was heavy on Lamb scoring 2 touchdowns tonight.
Yeah, the Lamb idea is interesting. I'm trying to see if there's any switch I could make that would be good with it. I'm probably fading Lamb on DK. So what can you do? I have him on the FanDuel one. I think you gotta take some crazy stands sometimes. It's not the worst idea to kind of take a shot on that. Let's see. I don't really have many other questions here. Someone says fade CD. Someone says 5-1 Cowboys. Campbell the only Colts player. Yep, that's certainly right. You can go. Meg, are you fading Matt Ryan?
Yes, that was a quick answer. I guess I did pretty much fade Matt Ryan just because trailing script. Yes, he could get there, but I don't see him getting many touchdowns or. I don't know. I just think he's could be a disaster tonight. So I am.
Have you seen him running? How many rushing yards he's been getting lately? I don't know, like what.
It's painful to watch. I know that.
It looks like it hurts him to run.
It does. It does.
Have you seen Anthony Davis's stat line tonight?
Yeah, what's he? I heard he's going off.
55, 17, and 3 blocks.
He is not. He's on that level right now.
Oh,
Yeah, I love to see it.
He said it before the year started. Oh, you're going to see a different AD. Well, it took him 20 games to get here, but we are seeing it.
Everyone was trolling about it too. They're like, okay, buddy, you'll be in a full body cast mid-season. Good for him, man.
I wish I had AD for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I do too, man. I do too.
My team's good, but I got 18% Jaylen Brown dropping 65, so that's fun. But
at 5:30, I turned to Tatiana. I was like, "Whoa, LeBron's gonna be in DC," and I was like, "Oh my god, if it wasn't 5:30." And the tickets were only like $50 too.
Oh,
wow. They're in town.
Oh yeah, that would have been a fun game to go to for sure.
I know. Meg, why the hell didn't you go?
I'm in Baltimore, but I mean, yeah,
it's close
enough. Close enough.
45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, Kurt, you and I are basically neighbors. I just realized that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Filled out the sheets.
I was at the harbor. It's kind of close to Baltimore. Last night.
Megan, I don't know if you want to be neighbors with Kurt. I mean, as someone who's like neighbors with Holden, like, you know what I mean? The grocery store gets scary, right? You're walking around, you just go around the corner and you're like, hopefully he's not there.
But he's not grocery. We're not that, Baltimore, DC, or Northern Virginia.
We got to get a file out of BWI.
Me and Holden are that close. Like, I'm telling you, like,
you're grocery store close. Kurt and I aren't grocery store
like
close.
If we met in the middle, right? Like if I drove to like the one grocery store to be, but like we could definitely, it's like a 10-minute drive each, right? Like
right.
I didn't know that.
I could randomly be at In-N-Out and Holden could walk in to get like In-N-Out as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's tough. So, but
how close to DC?
Well, I see. We've gone out on 8 a little bit. We got to do Top Golf soon. Me and Holden are going to do Top Golf at one point. One of these games. Maybe it'll be the Bengals and Bills. We'll watch it. Who knows? But
that's nice, man. Go.
Should be fun. But
I'm doing Top Golf Thursday. It should be fun.
What?
I'm doing Top Golf on Thursday.
Nice. What game is going to be on Thursday? What's the Thursday night football game you're going to watch?
Well, let's find out, man. Go.
Let's find out if it's a Colts Cowboys game. Let's see what kind of game it is.
Let's find out if Kurt's going to be happy. Raiders at Rams. I'm not happy anymore.
This is bad. This is very, very bad. This is a bad day.
It's a terrible day.
That's not a good one. Before we get on out of here, guys, please hit that like. We appreciate it a ton. I'm pulling up the schedule because I want to see if you guys will be upset next week what the game we're going to watch for this exact show. And Sunday Night Football will be Dolphins Chargers. So
yeah,
I'll have a happy group. I'll be happy to be rooting on the Dolphins. It should be a fun time. We'll have Kurt excited to take his 0 with Michael Bandy, so it'll be a good time. That's going to wrap it up for us, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us here on the Showdown Show. For me, Mango, Rubio Dimes, Kurt, and Megan. See you guys later.